the Feminine Mistake Podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Nicole, and today I am joined by
Hillary,
Sarah,
and Jasmine.
On today's episode, we continue our discussion of the film A Wrinkle in Time with special guest Jasmine Waters. So let's get into it.
The house is a mess, Jack. The kids are a mess, Jack. You're a mess, Jack.
You have been a total bitch ever since you came to New York.
You seem sort of distant.
Let's just do it, huh?
You look stupid and rich. Stupid and rich.
Fascist.
All right, let's get into it.
I think a moment that I think that they did try to flesh out that moment though when he's like, I can't lose both of you. Like,
it was a good performance from both of them. I have to say, I feel like the performances were good in this film.
Yes.
Except for Charles Wallace, who was terrible.
First of all,
And
Gugu
then
was in
that
it.
the weird blue-eyed kid. I mean, I don't think he was
Okay.
particularly amazing.
No.
I think he was
But
a good
Meg,
actor. I
Meg
just was
was good.
uncomfortable.
I
I
have to
agree.
that
Meg
Meg was
good.
great, and I thought Reese Witherspoon.
I thought
and
the
Mindy
acting on Reese
Kaling-
Witherspoon's part was so boring and terrible.
Reese Witherspoon
I thought
was
it was
trash.
flat.
I agree.
Okay.
I hated that. Same note with Oprah.
Oprah
honestly.
played Oprah.
Oprah played Oprah.
I
Yeah.
thought
Yeah.
I really
I mean,
enjoyed
I
her. I thought
wasn't
she was
expecting anything else, but,
powerful
like-
and comforting and everything that. Again, I'm basing this off the movie and not the book. I thought she was
I've
everything
never
that
read the
character
book.
was supposed to be in the movie. To me,
I don't know.
Oprah
Okay.
was
Just a little
there,
dull. A lot of it.
not doing shit. Like between Oprah and Reese,
She
I was
had great
mad.
hair.
Yeah.
Mindy Kaling at
Mindy-
least did something with her
I
face.
appreciated that she
Oh,
tried to
y-
work through quotes. Like she was the only one who did something interesting that I actually cared about.
Okay.
But like
Yeah.
Oprah, she was just talking Oprah like we were on her fucking talk show.
Yeah.
Reese was trying to be
I
silly
don't know
or something.
what she was
I don't
doing.
know
I
what
don't know what that was. Did she do a bunch of blow and then was like, I'm in a children's movie today, guys?
That's what it felt
Like,
like.
I was like, what is she doing? She looks like a Disney princess who
Yeah.
did a line because she slept, didn't go to sleep last
I
night.
love that you called it
like,
Disney princess. That's what Interior
Yeah,
said.
yeah,
Interior is like
yeah.
she was giving me Disney princess.
Exactly,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
it was
yeah,
like
yeah.
it was like a Disney princess on like a cruise ship, but she didn't get any sleep last night. She was like up banging the comedian,
my
and
God.
like so she was just like, I'm just gonna do
just
a line.
like
It's
Elsa,
fine.
Elsa
You're
dress.
right. That's such
Elsa,
a good description.
Elsa dress all the way up to her shoulders.
Right, and like it's kind of got like some beer from the night before spilled down the side of it, you know.
Yeah.
Like, but it was just like a mess. It was a
Yeah.
mess.
This is what Reese Witherspoon thought her character was.
This can explain so much.
Part Cheshire Cat and part the Mermaid in Splash.
Stop it.
I was with her for half that, but then the second half I was like,
I
girl.
wasn't here for the Cheshire Cat part.
No,
I'm
the-
sorry, like the Daryl Hannah and Splash part. Like I can see, like kind of.
No, I just mean like I don't think that's a good combination. This is why your performance is confusing.
How dare she? I'm not doing this with Reese Witherspoon today. The Cheshire Cat.
Yeah.
In what world? She wasn't sly. She
wasn't
wasn't witty.
smart.
Well, no, I could see she was trying for
Oh,
that.
what you just
She was
faded
tricksy.
in the
No.
sense that you faded in and
No.
out, like.
No,
Ooh,
in the
Reese.
sense that she sometimes disappeared, was kind of a dick.
Ooh,
Okay.
Reese.
Yeah, that kind of stuff.
She had a big
That's
smile.
the second favorite thing that's been said today.
But
Jasmine's
why base your
crying.
performance off of a infantile fish person?
Because that's
Have
what
you
she
guys
gave
you
us.
guys have seen Splash,
Yes,
right?
it's Daryl Hannah,
She
isn't it? In that
served
role?
us
She eats
mermaid.
She eats a lobster with
the
shell
shell.
on it.
Tell me that Reese Witherspoon didn't give you Mermaid the entire movie.
Okay, maybe a little. Maybe a
But
little.
like, did
maybe
she
a
ever
little.
give you Cheshire?
No, but I see she was trying for it. I can see that she was
I can
trying
see that
for
that's
it.
what she was trying for,
I'm
and I
not
was
going to
like,
do this with
no.
Reese today. Somebody call her.
Jasmine's wagging her finger.
So we call her and be
The
like,
fuck?
girl, you're from Alabama. Just stick with that.
Never again.
Just
So this is a quote from Oprah.
Okay.
Winfrey sees the story as the Wizard of Oz for a new generation. It's a spaced out Oz with Meg as the new Dorothy and I am Glinda. Mrs. Witch is a combination for me of Glinda the Good Witch and Maya Angelou. I hear both of them in my head as I'm speaking, and I cannot tell you how aligned I think the film is. I do not think of it as a kid's film. I think of it as a film for generations to come, and it will live on in the wisdom, empowerment, energy field for people in the same way that Oz did.
Please, okay, first thing.
I do think
Please
it
tell me that-
is going for a Wizard of Oz.
Please tell me that Oprah started her quote by saying, Winfrey thinks that. Like, and she speaks about herself in third person, because that's what I'm going to do one day. It's just like, he thinks that the film is a cross between
Heath thinks.
Too Fast, Too Furious and Running Cold. Running Scared? What's that other Paul
Running
Walker?
Sorry,
Scared?
I included.
Right.
I just thought it was funny to say Winfrey's.
Running Cold.
God.
That's a movie about.
Running Cold.
That's about when your pizza roll's been sitting out too
Like,
long.
exactly.
Who refers to
It's
Oprah
like-
as
and you've got to get to
Winfrey?
the bathroom.
Girl,
You call her
I'm
Oprah.
gonna tell you my issues.
please.
I thought you were gonna die when she said Maya Angelou.
Is Maya Angelou ever not being like reverberated within the halls of that woman's
So
mind?
do you think
Like,
that maybe the
it's just
eyebrow
like
was
a
just
constant.
a Maya Angelou eyebrow?
I'm
perhaps?
not doing this with Oprah today neither. I hope that you have a quote from Mindy and that she is more logical than the rest of these.
No, I don't have.
And
a
he's
word.
like,
I got paid a
Sorry.
lot of money. to
She's
do
like,
this movie, so
I had some lines. The costumes were pretty. I memorized the lines.
This bitch said she was a cross between Glinda the Good
and Maya Angelou.
Stop it. No fucking way. No way.
Oh,
like,
boy.
no, there's no way that Oprah took herself seriously in this role. There's no way. There's no
Sounds like she did.
did.
Have y'all seen Color Purple?
No.
The only movie ever that Oprah actually acted in?
No, I haven't seen it.
Everything
Sorry.
else is Oprah just talking.
I think I've seen it before,
And
but I
this
don't remember it.
is Oprah talking. And she just
Oh, yeah, it's
she
just Oprah talking.
She just said that every day that she is Glinda the Good Witch
But-
and Maya
But
Angelou.
wait, what if that's Oprah all the time?
That might be who she thinks she is.
I think that if you asked her who she is on her talk show, she'd be like, I feel like I'm a cross between Glinda the Good Witch and Maya Angelou.
I was
A little bit of Bob Barker.
A little bit of Bob Barker, yeah.
Watching the Late Show with Stephen Colbert, and one week he had Reese Witherspoon and Mindy Kaling and Oprah
I thought you were
on.
going to say Maya
But-
Angelou, and I was like, stop it, Sarah.
No, but apparently Oprah told Mindy or Reese, I forget which one, that no one chews gum in front of Oprah.
I get that. I
So,
wouldn't let anyone chew gum in front of me if I was
so
Oprah.
She says that she does refer to herself in the third person.
I would. If I was Oprah, I would refer to myself in the third person. Why not?
Nobody's
rich
gonna
enough
tell
to
me
own her
who
own
I can chew
network.
gum in front of.
If
I'd
I
be
own
like-
my
Except for
network
Oprah,
and you think
admittedly.
you could sit, I was like, if you sit on my couch
I'll
and
do
I'm Oprah,
anything.
you don't chew gum in front of Oprah.
I'd be like, you don't chew gum in front of Hillary.
Unless you're
You don't
gonna.
pour yourself a glass of wine and not pour one for Hillary. You know, like if I was Oprah, I would have rules as well.
I think I'm just gonna start talking like that from now on.
Try it out.
I think I'm gonna have a set of rules as to what people can and cannot do in front of me, and I'm gonna start telling them to people. But although I do have those
No one
rules at
farts in
work,
front of me unless I fart first.
well, see, I have those rules at work. It's no one pees on the seat, and yet I still have to have a personal set of bleach and paper towels that I hide from people so that they don't take it from me, and I cannot use our bathroom anymore.
I don't pee at your
So
workplace.
You shouldn't.
I do.
You shouldn't.
It's against my
I clean it
background.
before you guys ever come there. I bleach it down so you
I
never
know, I
have to
can't.
see the horror
Those
show that it
residuals.
is, unless I tweet a picture of it, which I do
I've
frequently.
seen, and I can't.
Go to my Twitter.
I don't know. I feel like that some of her dialogue was not the best. I feel like she did the best with what she had. I did not care for the Thai lettuce wrap scene. That was the first time that I began to truly question
I
whether
was
this
craving
movie was going to be good or not.
Yeah, yeah.
So badly.
I feel the same way.
I think Sarah and I looked at each other
Yeah.
during that scene and we were
Well,
like, oh.
Christo and I did too. We were like in the row right behind
Yeah.
you guys, and we were both just like, "Meh."
Yeah, we all saw this movie on the same day.
I just love like me and Nancy are probably too invested in that part, like especially when they were like, "We're flying," and
She's
and
like,
then we watched
"Velocity."
and then we watched
Whatever, I don't
Calvin
know.
like slowly start to fall off the back, and we're like, "This is when you strap in. This is when you see that black thing in the sky. Put your seatbelt on. Stop it. Sit down." And then he almost died.
You guys are like, this is the realistic situation. You can stick your head out the top of the limousine, but when you see a tree branch,
You duck.
gotta go
Well,
back.
listen, is there a lettuce creature in the book? Can somebody tell me? Do they
don't know.
fly on?
I didn't-
Do
I
they
don't
fly
know.
on a piece of romaine lettuce in the book?
I just really want to talk to the person who designed that. Like, were they hungry and a vegan? I just like, I want to know about that choice. Like, what was that choice? There are so many plants in this world that you could pick, and you picked rainbow cabbage.
I thought she was gonna be a flower, so it was really
Yeah.
weird when she
Yeah.
turned into a cabbage.
That was strange.
like, what
I
is
guess
this
cabbage
weird
is more
flat
durable for
leaf?
That's true.
commercial
That's
flight.
true.
At this
Maybe.
point, I was like, is there any conflict in this movie? Like, because it felt like
there's
it felt
her
like there was
dad's gone.
too long of a time with
Yeah.
like no conflict, and I
Yeah.
was like, why do I care? Like, where are the stakes?
Good point.
I think that's one of the struggles with like doing a book, especially a children's book,
Yeah.
is like there's so much buildup in an actual book that they can do that. Whereas
Yeah.
in a movie, they're trying to get you into the world so that you care about the world as well as the conflict. But
Yeah.
they did take
Yeah.
a long time. I was
They
like,
took
until
a
I saw
long
the
time
black
to
thing,
get
I
in
was like,
there.
It was like
I don't know what the
right
fuck
there.
this is.
Yeah, I was like, okay, I was like, thank God there's something bad in this movie. Like, it felt like it wasn't dark
Yeah.
enough.
But also, the only creature they interact with in this world are flowers and then the black brain thing. And I wanted more interaction. Like, I
Yeah.
wanted to know about whatever this world was,
That's
and
true.
not just
Yeah.
that there were like fields that they could run through, and Mindy Kaling could wear a stupid dress. You know, like
Okay,
I think
Mindy
it was kinda
Kaling's
like
dress
pants,
was
and that shit was hot.
fucking cool.
I would wear
It was
it.
fucking. The dresses were cool. You guys didn't think the costuming was cool.
I thought the costuming was
I thought
cool.
the costuming was cool.
With the
I thought the
exception-
costuming hindered the performances.
Okay,
Oprah's
okay,
eyebrow
that
was
is
here.
one of my. That is
Yeah.
one
All right,
of my
let's
top
get on your.
topics.
Sarah. Let's grab a topic.
Hair, makeup, costumes of the witches.
Yeah.
Whoever.
The missus.
The misses. Okay, so before I had seen the movie, the day of the movie, before I saw it, I actually got a haircut and my hair done and stuff like that. And my hairdresser, I was telling her that I was going to watch the film for the podcast, and the thing she commented on was, I hate the hair and makeup and costumes.
Really?
And she was like, I think that it like detracts from what the point of the story is, because she had read the book. She didn't see the film, but she was like, the costumes and the hair, especially because she's a hairdresser. She was like, I didn't understand why they made them so wild. Like, there's no need for that. She was like, the misses are supposed to be like from nature, and
So more like
earthly
maybe
and, like,
more like maybe the characters in Big Trouble in Little China, like lightning and no. Anyway,
she
Big Trouble
was
in Little
like,
China?
they seem
No?
like cartoon characters, and that's not
I'm just
what
joking,
it's
that
supposed
wouldn't
to
be.
be. So I was
Oh.
like, that's interesting. And then I saw it, and I don't know how I feel about it, because I didn't read the book, so I don't know how it's supposed to be. But
I found their eyeshadow very distracting because it was so glittery. It literally looked like Oprah had just like gone face first
That's
into a
true.
giant vat of like craft glitter.
that's true.
Like, it wasn't
I
even
liked it.
like
I thought it was
makeup
part of the
glitter.
fantasy element,
know,
so
man.
it didn't bother me. I also, again, haven't read the book. So the costumes, I actually really liked Mindy Kaling's costumes in particular. I thought Reese Witherspoon had some weird, that white thing. I was a little like, is that a
Comforter?
is that the sort of
Bunchy.
the bunchy sort of I don't think they do this anymore, but in the 80s people used to cover their toilet paper rolls with a koozie.
Yep.
And it reminded me of a toilet paper koozie a little bit.
Yeah.
And I liked Oprah's outfits. I thought they each had a different style.
What
Yeah, well, it was like people didn't
are you
want.
talking about?
Okay, and usually they were crocheted,
Okay.
and it was like a cover for your toilet paper. It wasn't
Like
the toilet paper you were
paper-
using.
Oh, okay. I
It
think
was the
that's
ones that
where
go
my
on the
confusion is
back
going
of the
from.
ones
You
that
have to
go on
make
the
your
back.
toilet
So
paper
like a
pretty.
tissue box cover.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
It's like
For your
nobody
toilet
wants
paper.
the unsightliness of a bare roll of toilet
I
paper,
know,
so you
it's
put a koozie on it.
That's disgusting.
Clothe it.
So you got to make it pretty with a doily.
Heathens. You gotta.
Thinking of the hair, kind of like what you were talking about. I don't know. Like the hair wasn't an issue for me. Their hair I actually really liked, and I get the idea of like it's supposed to be natural, but again, I'm torn between my blackness and what white Hollywood would like me to believe. Because to me, natural is me braiding my hair, twisting it up, being pulled back. You know, it's something. And unless you have three misses that are fully black women who don't have their hair pressed, which not to say black women's hair can't be straight, because it can, then I don't actually understand that, because I'm like, their hair was fine. Their makeup did not look like you just rolled out of bed.
No.
Just
Well,
Like-
I thought it was again, I didn't realize they were supposed to be natural, so I thought it was part of the fantasy.
Yeah.
And
It
that they
sounded
had
very
color
distracting,
schemes.
It was distracting.
I didn't
Took away from it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't know, because I mean same thing. I don't know what the book
Yeah,
is,
it didn't
but
bother me, but
the eyeshadows and the glitter, The eyeshadows and the glitters did stress me out, but it was mostly because I was then staring at it. Like
Yeah,
the
that's
last
the
scene
thing.
where Oprah's talking and I don't know what she
what she
said
said.
because her glitter eyebrow was not
in the
it was
middle
not in the right spot.
So it had shifted.
So I was just
So
staring
an
at it.
eyebrow
Yeah.
had shifted during the flight,
Right,
is what you're
and I
saying.
stared at it for 5
Like,
minutes.
She looked like she got slapped really hard, like it moved.
And so
No,
I had no
seriously,
idea
it's
what she
distracting.
said. Right.
You can't
Who
pay attention to
put
what
that
they're
glitter
saying.
eyebrow on?
Yeah.
It was like a Thursday night drag.
So do you think that an attempt to make them look too larger than life and goddessy?
yeah, I think they try to
Yes.
make them mystical, and I
Okay.
think they did
Yeah.
too much.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that like goddess and witch and all of that has been done so many times that they tried to take like the worst elements of every portrayal and throw it at them.
Okay.
However,
And, like,
Mindy's pant dress thing that was really big that she tried to run in,
the
I was
fucking
I love it.
disaster.
I thought
I
it was
love
great.
it.
No.
I
was
loved
like,
her
yes.
run. Her run is so awkward.
She looked like she belonged in Alice in Wonderland. In
Yeah.
that scene.
But that's what I think the look was.
But
trying to
that's why I
go
like
for.
this isn't Alice in Wonderland.
I know,
This
but I
isn't
felt
a
like
Tim
that was
Burton
their
movie. Why am I
aesthetic.
watching this weird mashup of themes?
But yeah, no,
Tim
their
Burton
hair
was
I
the
really
only one.
appreciated, especially like Zach Galifianakis when he
was
was
great.
on the balancing
Yeah, he was great.
shit. Like me
I
and
actually
Anterior
was really impressed with
Yeah,
his
I
performance.
loved him.
Yeah.
He was
I
one
loved
of
it.
the few people in this movie that I was like, oh, I can watch this scene without
I
pain.
thought that there
and
was
he had cornrows, but I
thought
wasn't
that-
mad at it.
Yeah.
yeah.
I appreciated
Wait,
it.
he had corn.
He had cornros. Like I mean,
He did.
Like,
just
not
realized
all
that
over,
too.
but
I just
yeah.
realized it.
and
Ooh.
it
I
wasn't,
don't
but
know
it
how I feel
wasn't
about
something that they did, and it wasn't something they did because like he was growing up in the hood or whatever.
No,
it was just,
he was just
it was
a
just
wacky
a thing.
dude.
It was like a thing. He had
Yeah.
cornrows, and I was like, yeah.
So while we're talking about Zach Galifianakis, I didn't know this.
You were just
Char-
leaving it at Zach. While we're talking about Zach,
Um,
you know, good pal, we're chums. Occasionally
know,
get
my buddy.
tea on the weekends.
Charlotte told me, because again, I haven't read the book. Charlotte was like, I don't know why they made him a man because that character is a woman in the book.
What?
Yeah. And I looked it up.
Probably so they could have a character that was a man that wasn't the dad in the
but
movie.
then how would that scene have been different if it was a whole bunch of women in a cave? Like, what if
Plus
it had
Calvin
been
and
like
Charles Wallace,
what if
yeah.
it'd been like fucking Sarah Silverman or some shit?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Come on, Ava.
I wonder.
Look, Zach was great, but
He
when I
was.
found out that character was a woman, I was like, why would you take that
But
part away from a
I
woman?
also wonder, like, did they write that character for a man, or did they audition both men and women, and Zach Galifianakis got the part?
I mean, it feels like
He
a
definitely-
that thing, or,
Yeah.
and also I wonder if it's like
They're like,
she's
too many
making
chicks.
she's making a lot of points, and not just like she's not making a lot of feminist points necessarily, but she's making a lot of points like with color throughout the entire film.
Yeah.
I wonder if it felt like a thing where it's like, if I put a woman in there, it's gonna shift what the points are, but I don't know. You never
Or like,
know.
fine, we'll give you a white man.
Right?
Yeah, I
you
was
get
wondering
you
that.
get one.
You can have one that's not
Or is
evil.
the point like we changed it to a man because he was kind of sensitive? Maybe men can be sensitive. I don't know. I'm just
That's
saying
true.
That's true.
what would be the point of
I mean,
changing
Zach
it from a
did
woman to a man? I don't know.
He did great. Yeah.
No, I kind of see what you're saying, though. Like, I think that the idea of having this woman in this role that's balanced and thoughtful, and because that's sort of what his character is, right? Like, that's what the scene was. Like, they were balancing on these rocks in this
Yeah.
cave, and like, to have a woman in that role who's like very like yoga inclined, and like, I think it's kind of predictable. But to have someone like Zach Galifianakis, who we haven't necessarily seen
But
in
if
a
it was
role
somebody
like
like
that,
Sarah Silverman, I'm just saying, like,
no, I agree with you.
it
I think
wouldn't have
it
been a
could
yoga.
have been great.
Yeah.
But I really do like Zach Galifianakis in that
I
part.
thought he was wonderful, but I have to say, when I found out that part in the book was a woman, I was like, I wanted to see that scene with a bunch of fucking powerful ass ladies in a cave
Yeah.
trying to help her remember shit. I wanted to see that, and I got robbed of it. I'm just saying, like, I
Yeah.
love Zach Galifianakis, but
No, I get both those points.
I have
but
to
I
wonder
also,
if they're like, there are too many women in this movie, and we need to put some dudes in here.
Well,
I
I
don't think
wonder
that
what-
was Ava
yeah.
DuVernay's thought.
I
Well, but
also-
the
She's the one
studio,
who
but the
started all this
studio
stuff.
might have
Oh,
had
it
that
may
thought.
have
Yeah.
been the studio, yes.
Yeah.
And I wonder, to like Hillary's point, if that character just wasn't strong enough if the people that they had auditioned for, if it just wasn't delivering strong enough as a woman, because like I wouldn't have appreciated that section if, not to say like Zach Galifianakis delivered it strong because he's a man, but
Yeah.
I'm saying like if it would have been a woman who was seemingly hitting all the stereotypes of what a woman does,
Yeah.
just being really nurturing and like
But you
very
could have
sweet.
cast it
No, I agree with you
against
because I
expectation.
would love to be cast.
And again, I like Sarah Silverman comes to mind, or like even Alison Brie would have been great in that part. I mean, there's a lot of women that could have done that part.
I think that
I'm just saying.
I think that the character actually was not comforting and nurturing. I think it was
wasn't.
very down to business and very
He was.
matter of fact. And I think that if they had a woman being down to business and matter of fact and balanced and not emotional,
That would have been
would've
interesting,
nice.
right?
But I think
Yeah.
we already have Mrs. Whatsit, who is those things. She's like kind of mean.
No,
not-
she's like a ditzy, mean white lady.
In all fair, that's because Reese Witherspoon didn't do good.
Yeah, I don't know.
She was trashing it up.
Yeah.
You know, I
Yeah.
asked Charlotte if I was one of the ladies, which one I would be, and she said Miss Whatsit, and I felt kind of insulted. I was like, so you think
Yeah, I
I'm
was
a,
about to say,
so you
I'm
think
sorry.
I'm a bitchy white lady? Is that what you think I am?
Maybe it's just
Could
because
she-
you both
with
had
hair?
red hair.
Red hair?
Yeah.
I don't know. She was just
And
like,
you're white.
she's like, I don't know. She's like, I don't know, Mom. She
Right?
seems to have your attitude.
And like Mindy and Oprah aren't white, so
I don't think it was a color thing. I think
Okay.
she thinks I'm a bitchy white lady.
you're not.
I didn't think she was that
No.
bitchy,
Own
honestly.
it.
I just
Okay.
thought she was trash.
She here's the things you guys have in common. She's like fun and outgoing, and you're fun and outgoing.
Okay, I'll take that.
I see
I'll take
Sarah
it.
is such a good friend.
So
I'll take
diplomatic.
it. Thank you
What?
for
It's
thank you
so-
for
no,
lifting
I'm
my
not-
self-esteem.
I'm
That
just
was
so
crushed
proud of
by
you.
my
You got
7-year-old
that. Like,
child.
it was quick. Here's what you have in common. Y'all are
You
strong
look
women.
great in a party dress.
You look great in a comforter.
pull off a bed sheet.
If you turned into
cabbage.
lettuce,
Damn, Sarah, you're good.
you would look fabulous.
I would
and I
ride
both
on your
would wear
back
the same
everywhere.
dress.
Oh, I want to see that movie. The movie where Sarah's riding on my back
While you're dressed as the
while I'm
cabbage.
dressed as a cabbage.
I feel like I'd be the dad.
It'd be
I'd
Hillary.
just be like, I want to be alone in this room.
You'd
I
be
don't want
like
my
you'd be
children
like in a
anymore.
room drinking a box of wine, and then you'd be like, "How did you guys find me?"
Damn it, leave your brother. We don't need him. One is enough. You're already old enough to cook and clean.
Why do you think I
Be out of the house
left?
in 5 years.
There was too many.
Okay. Okay. So
I never wanted the second one.
oh,
We're writing a whole different movie, like the dad's inner monologue, where he's just like on a bros retreat in this like evil island.
like if you look deeper into that empty room, there's actually like a panel that flips out. And it's a big screen TV.
Right. She didn't
Like one of the
she should have
whole
put the
walls
glasses
was
back
a
on.
TV.
Yeah, exactly. She's like, "Wait a minute, is this a kegerator?"
Also, it's hard to believe. Was he just like up there, like squatting for like 10 years?
I
like,
think so.
It was
Stressed out.
well, it was 4 years,
4
but
years,
also
sorry.
I don't think he had an awareness of time. It seemed to me like he thought he could
Yeah.
it was
Shorter.
Yeah.
Yeah, it seemed shorter.
Because also,
Yeah.
like, he wasn't bearded or
Yeah.
aged in any way.
He
you
just
know?
panicked whenever he
But
realized
Chris
it had been 4
Pine
years.
had like white hairs. I was like, how old is Chris Pine? He
white
has, like, a
hairs when
white
he left,
beard.
though.
Chris Pine is hot in any dimension.
Yeah.
No, Chris
Okay.
Pine could have had a
Glad.
Dumbledore beard in that moment and turned around and would have been like, I'm wet.
Wet for the very long old man's beard.
What was anyone else reminded of a young Leonardo DiCaprio? Like the way he said things.
Are you saying that
Chris
Leonardo
Pine-
DiCaprio is older
Old?
than?
Right.
Are you? Aren't
No,
they the
Leonardo
same
DiCaprio
age?
is
They're the same age.
definitely
no,
older
but
than
what I'm
Chris Pine.
saying, what I'm
He is?
saying,
Yes, I'm
But
sure
he's
of it.
But he was just on Growing Pains recently.
What I'm
Leonardo
saying-
DiCaprio?
Yeah.
First man
know,
that
what
I
I'm saying
discovered
is
could get
Do you
it.
know
how
what
he
Growing Pains
talked.
is?
I haven't. I watched it when I was a kid.
Oh, it was a
that's
show
all
in
I
the
know.
80s. It was a joke.
I was
When-
like,
when you discovered
like,
how
did
he
they
talked-
rethink
talked.
that?
So like how Chris Pine talked and like the way he acted and looked and stuff reminded me of Leonardo DiCaprio in Titanic, and I was like, why am I having this like?
I didn't get
I'm not giving that to you.
I just
weird.
can't.
I'm in love with Leonardo from Titanic. No.
Me too.
Of
Rose
course
is a
you
bitch.
are.
Look,
He's
look,
16 and pale as the white.
He
of
was
my
21
walls.
and
Yeah,
gorgeous.
Yeah, gorgeous.
21,
Leonardo
18, same
DiCaprio
thing.
is younger than me, and I resent any implication
is
that he's an
not.
old man. Yes, he is.
he is.
Oh, yes.
He's 36.
I thought he was in his fifth.
Girl, I'm 38.
There's no way he's younger than you.
He's younger than me.
He's a fat old man.
Don't you call him
Okay.
fat? Have
Okay.
you seen him
Ooh, I will
recently?
jump across this
pudged
TV
out.
stand.
He pudged out. He's got a beer gut.
You're lucky.
And
There's nothing
stubble.
around me that I can throw at you.
I'm just
It's all
saying,
my stuff.
he's
You better
younger
not
than
throw
me,
anything.
and I don't want to hear anything
He-
about him being an old man.
Yeah, no.
He's gorgeous.
I
He's
thought. I
perfect.
honestly thought he was in his 50s. So
You
last
know,
time I saw him, I
honestly-
was like, "Well, he's near death."
Honestly, the more grizzly he gets, the more attractive I find him. I didn't like him when he was clean and soft.
I'm attracted to all of him.
I'm attracted to the the clean and soft.
I'm attracted to
Okay,
all
I
of
like
them.
when I was a teenager and I watched Romeo plus Juliet, I was like,
Romeo plus
Plus
Juliet.
Juliet.
I'm what?
when he pulled
Yes.
out his
But-
sword.
Yes.
Now I look back on those and I'm like, Man in the Iron Mask, like what a fucking
That movie's terrible.
baby-faced,
That
I
movie's
love
awful
Babyface. I still love
actor.
Babyface.
He's
I
so
love all of
babyface.
it.
I just like I don't find him attractive at all anymore. Like
I
as a
didn't
teenager,
until-
I did.
What's
now
that movie
I'm
he
like,
was in with
ugh.
Martin Scorsese? What was that movie that he was in? Martin Scorsese directed, and fucking Matt Damon was in it, and Jack
Departed?
Nicholson. The Departed. I didn't get it until The Departed, and then I was like, oh,
I was even into him in Django. So
Oh right.
oh, but Jasmine, we've established in your stand-up material why that is.
Yeah, I know why that is.
I don't like. I think he like was meant to always look young, and when
That's the thing. But now he's starting to
he's
age and he's
looking-
gross.
yeah,
So you
he's-
think he should be a
looks-
time
He
capsule?
still looks young, but like old young. I don't know how to describe
We
it.
just need
Both
to
of
start
you.
pumping formaldehyde into his veins to keep him in this
I
state
hate
for a little
both of you.
while. Because
Next
like
subject.
it's a mistake.
All right, Hillary, do you have anything on your list that you
Leonardo
besides?
DiCaprio.
Do you have something from this movie, perhaps,
Oh,
that you would
God.
like to discuss?
Nicole's like stay on topic.
No, it's fine. I'm glad we talked
Jasmine
about
just
that. We got some
upset.
things out.
My
Okay,
feelings are hurt.
so well, here's the question I have. I don't have a brother, so I don't know what the brother sister relationship is, but I felt like there was something lacking in the brother sister relationship between them. Like I grew up with a sister who was very similar in age to me. Like they're maybe like 4 or 5 years apart, something like that. My sister and I are 2 years apart, but I found the sibling relationship like lacking something that I
they were like
wanted out of it.
7 or 8 years apart. I think because
She's 13. He was like 5.
yeah, they're pretty old, like pretty big age difference there. It seemed like she was his caretaker.
Yeah. It did.
But in some ways, it felt like he was hers, like
Yeah.
emotionally.
Yeah.
yeah.
I don't know. I just didn't like
I
their
thought it was sweet.
relationships. I wanted
Okay.
to see if you guys
Well,
had
I
any
have a
thoughts on.
brother,
Okay.
and he's younger.
Your brother's younger than you?
Yeah, he is.
Oh, I
we're
thought
only
he was older than you.
We're 3 years apart. He's your age.
Oh, really? I thought he was your
Yeah.
older brother. I've
No.
always thought that. Like, had that. I've
Oh,
told
that's
people
so
that. In fact,
weird.
I've
Interesting.
Told people that.
No. Okay.
Don't talk about me. I'm
I
just
talk
kidding.
about you all the time, Sarah. I tell
Oh.
everyone. I have like a write-up sheet on you, and I'm like, here's my fact sheet on Sarah Allison
Oh my
Hodges.
You're gonna have to go back to the printer and get a new one now.
I know,
my
right? I'm
God.
gonna have to change that, scratch
But
it out.
yeah, no, he was born in May of the same year you were born.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Oh my
for
God,
leaving
what
that
day?
ambiguous.
What
Thank
day?
you.
What day?
62. No, I'm just kidding.
What day was he born?
19th.
He's 10 years younger, or 10 days younger than me.
10 years.
Sounds
years.
younger than me.
10 years. He's 10 days younger than me.
Aw.
So we're so different, and like we weren't close for a really long. We're still not close. So like I totally get sibling relationships that aren't close, and it would make sense that
They
they.
seemed close to me though.
Yeah, like, because I think about like Cristo and Marianella, who are very close, and like, I don't know. It's just like it's so.
I think
odd
it's the age
to me,
difference.
but
Well,
it must be the age difference
because she was taking care of him like he was like a babysitter in some
Yeah.
ways, but he was, you're right, taking care of her emotionally, but in a subtle way because he's a child and can't be like telling her what to do.
I
and
don't know.
whatnot.
I wanted them to have some sort of friendship, and I
Right.
felt like there was a friendship.
So maybe
lacking,
the
and that was my
chemistry
problem
was
with it.
lacking.
Chemistry.
Yeah.
It was chemistry.
I think
yeah.
it's because the kid playing Charles Wallace is a terrible actor.
Yeah, but
Frankly.
come
mean-
on, Meg, step it up. Put some love in
she's
those
doing her
eyes,
best.
You know.
My brother is
Come
7
on.
my oldest brother is 7 years older than me, and he used to take care of me and my sister. Like he would make us fried chicken or hamburger helper because those are the things he cooked.
Hamburger helper.
Because my mom was like, my dad was still living in New York and my mom was the one working.
Yeah,
so
working. Yeah.
and especially as I got older, and I don't know if maybe this happened when I was younger too, but as I've gotten older, I am my siblings' emotional caretaker, which is really weird because if you know me, I don't really have emotions, but like they do come to me and ask me, like they are like, hey, like what should I do in this situation? And we kind of talk all the things through, and I'm not as close to my brother as I am to my sister, but I think that as we get older, we have more of an actual friendship relationship. Whereas when we were younger, it was more of a, like, I love my brother.
your baby.
Like,
Yeah.
and I was his baby sister.
Yeah.
And that was just what that was. But I do agree that maybe the chemistry was lacking on screen, because I don't even think I saw them like hug until that last moment where she lifts him up and tells him that she loves him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When they're at the house. And that's what I was thinking the entire time. I was like, why don't you pick up your brother? Like, pick him up. Or like, she failed him at the beach. I'm sorry, she fucking failed him.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
she did.
First of all, they just had an entire scene on we're not supposed to trust anyone.
Don't trust
And
anyone.
then
Don't get
you
separated.
trust the first man who starts yelling at you, and
Who
then
wants
you
to
let
give you
your
the
brother
first plate of
Man you
food.
meet.
and then you start letting your brother eat the food even though you're not eating the food. And then your brother says,
I mean,
it
who
tastes
gives
like
a fuck about Calvin? He can make his own choices.
right. And you let your
Yeah.
brother like he tells you it tastes like sand, and that would have been my moment. Like, let me grab this little motherfucker.
Stab it.
We out. We're done.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
she like let him keep eating it, and like
Then
Calvin's like, taste mine.
Got close to the
and
other
then
guy.
then she let him
I
have the
liked
bonding
that
moment.
scene. I liked the guy in the scene.
I did
I
too.
liked Michael
did well.
Pena in that scene. I thought the part where he turned into a marionette and fell apart was extraordinarily creepy to
Yeah.
me.
Super
Yeah.
creepy.
I actually like turned to Charlotte and was like
Yeah,
worried,
yeah.
but Charlotte
Yeah.
is impenetrable
Yeah.
and doesn't have
Yeah.
nightmares. So
Yeah,
because
might
she's
need
the
to
most
see someone.
cynical 7-year-old I've
I
ever
love
met.
her.
Anterior had said during that part, she goes, because like me and her both were having the same struggle. We're like,
Mm-hmm.
why the fuck are y'all sitting down? Why the fuck are y'all
I know.
eating
I
this
thought,
food?
but
Yeah.
And then she goes, are we not concerned about why this motherfucker has these sunglasses on, even though you're under an umbrella? And I was like,
yeah,
bitch, you never
yeah,
lied.
yeah.
And then he revealed his eyes, and it was
Yep.
like, ah. So I don't know. I felt like she failed her brother in that moment, and I think she realized it. And I think that was part of
Yeah.
like just her internal struggle too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because that poor boy, the second they got into catharsis, what was the name of that place? I don't know. Cataracts.
Camazot.
Camazot.
Well, the second they
Cataracts.
the second they got there, I was
Cleveland.
like, her little brother is the light, because he is all love, and
Yeah.
he's going to
Yeah.
start. He's going to start losing shit. Like the second they got there, he was like, I'm not certain. And throughout the entire movie, he was positive about everything.
Oh wow, you
Yeah.
picked
until
up on
that
shit
moment.
I did not.
And he was
yeah.
like, I'm not sure where we're going. I couldn't see you. I couldn't understand this. And I was like, oh my God, it's like the misses. They were fading in their powers, and
Yeah.
he's fading in his, because he's like really bright,
yeah.
and he's also full of
You're
love.
making this movie sound really good,
Yeah.
and it
Yeah.
wasn't.
No,
Yeah.
No, I think that
I want you to be aware that had you kept with it, there were parts that actually
I
happened.
agree. There were
It was
parts
That
that,
like,
happened.
were
by
really
the time
great.
I got to that, I was like, I'm out of sour straws. I don't know what to do. I have to pee. But
Well,
I
yeah,
know
no,
this
that
one.
one, that part was very clear. Like the second, like they got over the wall to him, he was like, "I'm sorry, I lost you. I wasn't certain of where to go." And like every line out of his mouth prior to that had been like,
That's a good
I'm
point.
pretty positive. I'm 100% 76.
we're
Yeah.
going
He's
here.
being
yeah.
annoying as fuck. And then all of a sudden he didn't know, and I was like, shit.
No, you're
It's
totally
because
right.
he's full
Yeah.
of love.
And I think it's partly because that role was so poorly acted that like I did not pick up on
That's
any
fair.
of this. But like
His-
you're right.
yeah,
like
he-
looking back, I'm like, yeah, all right.
He was
Take
doing
it.
a child actor performance, but it wasn't a skilled.
It wasn't
child actor performance. There was-
leading child.
Yeah,
actor
it was a little
performance.
bit.
He
It was a
should've-
little. There was a little bit more required of him than I think he was able to
He should have
deliver.
been one of the background characters on like the Little Rascals, not one of the lead characters in
he
this
wasn't
film.
one of he wasn't my least favorite though. Like
Oh, who was your least favorite?
I don't necessarily. I don't know. I don't know.
no,
Probably
no.
Calvin, but
Yeah.
like,
Oh, yeah.
but that's just because he made me uncomfortable, and I'm
Yeah,
not usually.
I didn't
made
like his eye
uncomfortable.
fucking. I did not care
But-
for it.
I don't know. Like, I didn't hate him initially, and that was just because I just saw him as a sweet, annoying little brother.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that he did
He was
well.
just annoying the fuck
and
out of
I
me.
even feel like there were some moments in the last scene when the spell was broken that he did that were very
Mm-hmm.
moving. But when it came down to him carrying the possession and
Yeah.
the reversal, it didn't work.
Yeah,
he
he
just
creepiness-
wasn't able to do that. It
Sweet
just wasn't
boys
something he
creep
could
me
do.
out though. Like the fact that he was still sweet and saying really uncomfortable shit was making me uncomfortable. Like, oh, I mean, you're not my dad, but I was like, oh God, like somebody punch him, somebody hit him in his throat.
Well, I did like
Bad
that
little
the
boy.
movie was not afraid to
Go there.
tackle shit like that because like
Yeah.
this book was written in 1982.
Nope. 62.
It was 62?
62.
I thought I read 82. Okay,
It
well,
might have been reprinted. Maybe the version you looked at.
no, I obviously read Wikipedia wrong.
Oh,
Well, then fuck it. I don't
I
have
wasn't sure if
anything
you
to
like
say.
old school opened the copy that your daughter had to look at the copyright date.
No, that was a
Because that's
recent
what
print.
I do because I'm a nerd.
Yeah.
Then I don't have anything to say. Anybody got? I got a couple things still I want to cover, but anybody got something burning on their list?
We've pretty much covered all my thoughts.
Your thoughts were, I hate this movie.
Yeah,
and
I hate this
why
movie.
don't the brother
I
and
was
sister have more of a
unconvinced by
relationship?
it. The relationships were boring. Cabbage is stupid.
Cabbage is delicious, just not necessarily as a costume choice.
Even though Gugu only had like 10 lines, they were all gems.
Yeah, she was really great in it. I
Yeah.
will say that.
I wish she had
the
more
character of the
to
mother was really
do.
great in it. I do wish she had more to do, but like the
Yeah.
scenes that she was in, she like aced it.
That's
you
'cause
know?
Gugu's
She
a
was
bad
great.
bitch.
Yeah, she was great.
She was
I
great.
do wish I wanted to cut back to her at least once while the kids were gone.
I think
Yeah.
I don't know. I felt
I
like
wanted to
she
know what was
didn't
up
have.
there.
I feel like she only
'Cause
had
how
something
long
to
were the
do in
kids
relation
gone, you
to
know?
other people.
From when
Yeah,
they got back,
yeah.
it seemed like the
They'd been
time
getting for
day.
dinner.
A
No,
day.
it didn't.
You know?
Yeah, it seemed like a couple of hours.
Okay.
Because she was
Yeah.
just like, "Why were you in the backyard?" She seems
Yeah.
like a mother that would have
Okay.
been more concerned had they
Yeah,
been gone
Right.
for a
yeah.
day.
Well, I just
Yeah.
I felt her presence missing,
Oh,
and
no,
I
agreed.
wanted
Yeah.
there to be more
'Cause,
for her to
like,
do.
you
But
can't-
this
You're
happens
right. She was
frequently
just
with
the
parents.
mom, the
yeah.
wife.
I mean, they gave her a little bit more in that she was a scientist and all that, but honestly, she seemed to be a accessory to all the
Yeah.
other characters in the movie, and I
Yeah.
wish that she had more than that.
Right.
That was
Yeah.
the problem I had. Which I feel like if she had come back and been a little bit more doubtful or hurt or something when
Yeah.
Dr. Murray came back, like I would have been more true to a person.
I
to
almost
me.
cried though because it was like that moment of like she had just asked about a dream and then like he was there and then she was like it didn't seem like she knew what to feel. Like that entire exchange, like I loved it because she was like crying, but it was like a mix of emotions
Yeah.
because Gugu's amazing and she can do that all at once.
Yeah, she was
Yeah.
good.
And I was here for it. Them making out, I get your point, but I,
was like,
needed Chris Pine to make out with someone
Okay,
if it
all
wasn't
right,
going to be
okay.
me.
Yeah,
So.
and it couldn't have been one of the kids. So
Yeah.
Right.
Oh God,
No.
please.
Nope.
I'm so excited! I'm so excited! I'm so scared!
Welcome to Nervous Breakdowns. This is the part of the show where we read the very worst casting breakdowns that we can find on
worst.
in the bowels of the internet. For those of you not in the biz, a casting breakdown is something that goes out when a film is being cast. It provides character descriptions, and some of them are, frankly, pretty racist and misogynist, and we like to read them on the show. We don't out the production company or the name of the film, but strap in. Here we go. Jasmine,
Don't read ahead, Jasmine.
are you reading ahead?
No.
I didn't even send this to these guys.
All right. So it's a rainy night in West Hollywood, and our hero, sweet baby Jane, from a farm in the flyover states, she came to be Midwestern, clean delivery, and talked to the kids. Sweet baby Jane was/became everyone's mom, sis, dad, lover,
Hillary
BFF.
looks like she's having a stroke.
She was everything that everyone else needed, but in a hurry. She went to community college to become a nurse aide. At 19, Jane needed treatment. I'm fine.
I'm struggling.
Okay.
It's like one of the weirdest fucking
At
breakdowns. I've ever read.
19, Jane needed treatment for depression/suicide after her first love just dropped her for a cow. Jane said,
Like, I want to know, is it a overweight person or a farm animal? I need to know.
An actual cow.
Yeah, me too. I pictured an actual cow.
Guys, it is the Midwest.
I'm sorry. She's
is
a
the
farm
Midwest.
girl named Sweet Baby Jane. I'm sorry.
Yeah, exactly.
Jane said, good.
Hang in, it takes a turn.
Jane said, good, by small community, and I'm going to LA to get up on stage at the Comedy Store, Improv, Groundings, etc.
Groundlings.
Groundings.
Groundlings.
Groundlings.
Does it say groundlings or
etc.
groundings?
It says groundlings.
Okay.
Sorry, reading quick. She thinks she finds what she's looking for. Caps. This is what's
This is
in
when
caps.
the rest of the breakdown is in all caps.
Oh, thank God they're screaming this at me. Okay, good. Okay, good.
Must do some kind of stand-up/improv/sing/funny/storyteller. Being an ex-agent, I'm going. Just to be clear, there's a typo. There's a B at the end of going for some reason.
Going, but
Going by
Wait, as an ex what?
an ex-agent. This
Ex-agent.
person who put the
So he's
breakdown.
speaking about himself.
I
at this
think
point.
so.
Okay.
It's hard to tell because this breakdown is very stream
An
of
agent
consciousness.
of what? Yeah, I'm
As an
confused by it.
ex-agent, I'm going to say an age range between 18 and 25.
Oh, that kind of agent.
I'm very nopen.
Wait, 18 to 45?
18 to
25.
25.
I'm very
You know,
nopen.
really open.
Because open has an in front of it.
You know, 7 years. That's 7-year range.
I'm very open to look, color, handicapped, whatever. But I want your command of funny words.
You have to have the funny words. Hillary, this could be for you.
Command
I have
of
all the
funny
command of
Do
funny
you
words.
command to the funny words?
I command all the funny
Okay,
words.
Special
guys, that was
instructions.
just the movie synopsis.
Thank God.
That
Oh
was
my God, I
just the
cannot
movie
wait to hear
synopsis.
what these characters are about.
Special instructions. Please do a 2-minute self-tape on your cell phone.
It's always good quality. You know you're looking for the best of the best when you ask for a cell phone tape.
Just half-ass it. I'm just going to tell you right off, half-ass your tape.
To be clear,
Sorry,
this is
I'm
all
such
this
a
is in all
cunt.
caps.
By the way, this is still in all
This is
caps.
in all caps.
Still in all caps.
God, I'm such a bitch.
So
Somebody
please
just
do a
needs to put me down.
2-minute. Please do a 2-minute self-tape on your cell phone. Move around. Be funny. Or
Move around. You know, when you're
funny,
taping
what?
on your cell phone, make sure you
around.
move around a lot.
move around. Be funny. Or not.
Or don't. You still have a great shot.
Just make sure it's on your cell
Use
phone.
the above description and do a Larry David. In addition, please send me.
I don't know any female comics or any stand-ups from the last 20 years. Please be Larry David.
Oh my God.
In addition, please send me any EPK, pics, resume, bio, mission statement.
What's EPK?
And please,
A mission statement. I'm gonna send you a fucking mission statement.
Oh, it's an electronic press kit. That's what an EPK is. I forgot.
and please, don't dwell. Just do it cold, without
Don't
fear.
dwell.
Let go and let the power of the universe guide you.
This is great character description. I think
That
I
wasn't
know
the
exactly what
description.
he wants.
That was the
Power
special instructions.
Of the universe.
We have not.
You.
We have
We
not
haven't gotten
gotten to the description yet.
I have a lot of crystals in my apartment. Does that mean that the universe is guiding me?
Are we ready?
This is more than just a breakdown, Hillary. This is a life coach.
I watched Seinfeld
Oh my God.
once. Am I Larry David now?
Are you ready for the character description?
Your pants fell
She was losing it.
losing her pants because it was too funny.
All right. So, the character description, Sweet Baby Jane. Even though
the name of the
earlier
character.
God damn
indicated
it.
as 18 to 25, we indicate her as 18 to 50.
Oh,
Okay,
good. Thank
okay.
God.
Don't worry.
Jane, and this is all in caps,
Still in all
Thanks.
caps.
Still screaming
Jane
at me.
is a woman, girl, comic, improv, genius, person. She made them laugh in the shower, at school, made Uncle Norman
Who are you
laugh.
telling jokes to in the show?
Jane loved
Her Uncle Norman, obviously.
Well, there's something wrong there.
Jane loved I Love Lucy shows.
Of course, because that's what women comics, that's the only other women they have to relate to,
it's
right?
the only woman comic I know is Lucille Ball.
Jane's
Yeah.
command over the English language and her knowledge of most things makes for an interesting lady.
That's how I feel about most people from Iowa or the flyover states, is that they're very knowledgeable and worldly.
And they have a command of the English language.
She is, and I'm gonna assume it's she because he put the or
Yeah, I think he
they
means
put
she,
the.
yeah.
She is a career Oscar, Emmy kind of role.
I assume that they're promising you an Emmy or an
Yeah.
Oscar, depending on where this ends up.
Again, no training out of a flyover state. I totally believe it.
Bet you heard that one before.
No,
Small.
I think he's saying you will get an Oscar or an Emmy.
Oh, it's so well done
for
that
this role.
even if you were a shitty actress, you'll come into this
Right.
and just win a fucking Emmy. Well,
Bet you heard that
Sign
one
me up.
before. Star. Small, large, fat, skinny, 3 eyes, black, brown, green, big butt, or no butt, tall or short, no arms or legs or blind are all welcome to audition, and you must have command over the queens and kings
Of
I want to meet.
English and funny between 18 and 30, 40, but look young. Me. Sorry, that's their name. and I'm
I
not
want to
gonna say
meet.
it.
yeah, don't say it.
I want to meet the young, three-eyed, no-armed,
Green.
green woman who gets this
Who's
role
45 but looks young.
I'm
and
sorry.
wins an Oscar for it.
Can I ask a really quick question? How does black fit into all of that?
No, you can't be black. You have to be green.
No, like, but he's made it so, like, we all can be. Any
We
of
all
these
can
things.
be
You
Sweet
can be
Baby
a list
Jane.
of things, and you could audition still. Blind, no arms, no legs, black. What?
Oh, yes. No, that's
These equate?
that's an unfortunate list of categories that should not be together.
There's additional criteria, but I don't think anybody cares.
No, I think that pretty much sums it
It's
up.
all questionable at best.
Oh my god. I have never laughed so hard.
So this is just but one example of the films and roles that are available to women in the film industry.
I think
Hey,
there's something
Jasmine?
important to tell. Yes.
Could you pass me that listing, please? Because I'm going to go get famous.
You're going to win an Emmy or an Oscar.
I'm going to go win an
depending
Emmy
on whether they
and
decide to put
an
this on
Oscar.
TV or in the movies or
I'm
both
gonna win
potentially.
both.
I
I'm gonna
think it's
win. I'm gonna EGOT off this one thing alone. They're gonna screen it in a Broadway theater. I'm gonna fucking win a Tony for it.
There you go.
Can I tell you
I'm gonna sing so beautifully. I win a fucking
three
Grammy.
wonderful women? Something that recently was said to me that speaks to this.
Okay.
I met a gentleman that I feel like I cannot name, but he told me his name was his name with two N's, which is a name that normally has two N's on the end of it. And
I guess maybe a Glenn,
he was
perhaps.
very, very close, very close. And this gentleman, so young, he was telling me how he was recently in a film as background on Netflix.
Okay.
Yeah.
And he was telling me if I wanted to be a serious actor. Yes, he's a white man. I'm wondering.
A white man?
He's a white man.
He's a white man.
He's but 22 years of age.
Oh,
then he's
so much
he is worldly.
experience.
He's
And
worldly.
he's
so
told
much
me
life to
if I
tell
wanted
about.
to take myself seriously as an actor, that I should follow this certain page on their website. And I asked him what their website was, not because I was taking him seriously, but
feel
because I was
horrified
fucking
'cause
with him.
what's going to happen next.
And he was like, "This is their website." And then I was like, "Oh, is that like .com?" And he was like, "No, it's their Facebook page." The way he got this role was because they had listed on their Facebook page that they were looking for a white man, early 20s, who smoked. And he got cast. And he said it could be just as easy for me.
Oh, I've heard that.
Uh-huh.
I've heard that. That like there are no like body stipulations.
No.
Like you don't need to look a certain way. Like I mean, just no makeup. Walk in, light a cigarette, and you'll get the role. Is
But
what I've
when
heard.
Your skin color comes after 3 eyes on
On a
Yeah,
casting
on a
breakdown.
casting
pretty-
breakdown.
Like I think,
think
Where it's like
maybe
this
not.
is so
And this-
ridiculous that a black person would even audition for this that it'll go after 3 eyes.
look, I'm not saying like okay. I pulled this breakdown precisely
That's
because I feel like this is a person's sad attempt at inclusivity.
Yeah, I hate that. Like, no one has three eyes. No one is green.
Here's the thing. I don't feel like this is someone's sad attempt at inclusivity. I feel like this is someone's sarcastic attempt at
You think?
inclusivity. Oh, 100 fucking %. This is a white man who sits on Facebook and writes "not all men." This is a man who sits there and is like, "But I've never catcalled a woman, and she's never told me that she thought I might rape her later. I'm not that kind of man. I'm inclusive." And the kind of guy who would argue that white privilege isn't a thing. You know, that's what this strikes me as is a white guy who's like, we don't really need to try to cast black people in roles. Black people just need to try harder to get the
I mean,
roles.
I put it in the breakdown
it in
right
the
next to
breakdown that
three
you
eyes
had
and
three
no
eyes.
arms.
Black, brown, no arms. Excuse
Exactly.
me, sir.
I mean, that's what I get from this is a man who's sitting there going, we don't need to try to put people into our films. They just need to be better so that we can cast them in our films.
Yeah.
If they were only better, if only I could find a black woman who is talented and beautiful, then I'd put her in my film. But they just don't exist. That's what this strikes me as. Not a trial.
Yeah,
A
I think it
sarcasm.
fails on multiple levels, and I have to question
Jasmine's laughing at
the
it again.
sanity of this person and their run-on sentences. Also, I never trust anything that's written in all caps.
Is this real? Like, is this
Is
even...
this wait? One more piece of information I want to know: is this a union project?
Did anyone get cast in this role?
No, it's a breakdown. It's a breakdown.
Oh, we don't know.
So we don't know. It's a breakdown.
We need to
You
find out.
can submit.
We need to find out.
Is this
I
a
wanna
union?
submit.
I do know it's unpaid.
Does it say?
Okay, then it's not
Does it
union.
say SAG though?
It's
No,
not,
it's SAG
it's not
deferred.
if it's unpaid. If
Oh,
it's
gotcha.
unpaid, it
It's
is not.
SAG deferred.
SAG
Which means
deferred.
they're hoping to have a high enough budget
To
to
get
put
SAG
it on
deferred.
television and get a SAG nomination.
This is a
for it.
feature
No.
film, though, just in case you were wondering.
Oh, then
It's gonna
there
last
is
a
no
while.
SAG deferment because it's a feature film.
It's a
and
feature
they
film.
would never.
It says feature
Shown
film.
on television.
Actually,
Slash
well, no,
SAG deferred.
I don't know. I mean, no, only a small amount because obviously we usually are
Yeah, I'm not
non-union.
union.
But to my understanding, you can, even if the role is unpaid, you can apply to have you can apply to have a SAG actor in your film. But I don't know that you can call
but
yourself
it would
a
not
SAG
be a
film.
SAG film,
Yeah.
and like that actor would not be nominated to be in SAG or anything like that. You cannot get your
What
Screen
you're
Actors
saying
Guild
that
membership
whoever
off of that.
you're saying Sweet Baby Jane could not be nominated for this Emmy/Oscar/Tony
I'm
winning
not
role.
saying anything. I
All I'm
don't know
saying-
anything about their criteria.
As someone who has read over their additional criteria, I'm just saying it feels more and more like that he's being a smartass, like Hillary said. Like, you've obviously just checked every box. This is ridiculous.
I have a feeling I know what city this is filmed in.
You probably do. Thanks for joining us for today's episode of the Feminine Mistake Podcast. Critical Crop Top's new live sketch show, Critical Crop Top Enters the Multiverse, opens next month, May 11th, 13th, 18th, and 20th at the Highland Inn Ballroom in Atlanta, Georgia. Critical Crop Top Enters the Multiverse stars Cameron Richardson, Jasmine Waters, Liz Shad, John Good, Patrick Morgan, Andy Fleming, Hillary Arheath, and myself. Tickets will be on sale at our website, criticalcroptop.com/tickets. Stay up to date with everything our special guest this month, Jasmine Waters, is up to, plus enjoy her witty repartee by following her on Twitter at reallifebyjazz, and that's with a J-A-Z. Looking for something to do at work besides work? Watched every episode of SNL on Hulu? Try downloading the Thea app, featuring original content by local Atlanta artists, including us. You can find Critical Crop Top on Thea, that's THEA, and enjoy all of our comedy shorts and web series for free. Continue the conversation with us about the film A Wrinkle in Time on social media. You can find us at Feminine Mistake Pod on Facebook and Instagram, and on Twitter at FemMistakePod. Join us next week when we'll be wrapping up our conversation about this film with special guest Jasmine Waters. Till then, if you've got a nervous breakdown that you would like us to read on the show, you can send that or any other correspondence to femininemistakepodcast@gmail.com.
We're the Vocal Fries. I'm Carrie,
And I'm Megan.
and we have a podcast about linguistic discrimination.
We talk about language, not being a jerk, not judging people for the way that they speak, and we try to have a good time.
We talk about things like vocal fry, swearing, Southern American English, and prescriptive grammar.
You can find us on iTunes or your favorite podcast app.